I was diagnosed about 4.5 years ago with severe emphysema. It happened very quickly, and they immediately put me on oxygen and referred me to UCSD for a double lung transplant. Told me that I was going to die. I declined the double lung transplant, decided that I didn't want to do that. Didn't really like the odds and started looking for alternatives. Well, after I declined the double lung transplant, like a lot of people coming to their end of their string, I thought I was going to be okay with it, but I really wasn't. And you get desperate, you start looking around for anything that might help. And there was a lot to find. There at the time were 5 different studies going on at UCSD about medical marijuana, and 2 of them were lung specific. So that was the very first thing to get my attention. And then I ran across something that said all through the 1800s in America that the most common thing that it was prescribed for was breathing trouble. And that caused me to look further. I ended up finding that Eli Lilly and Company, the pharmaceutical company, along with many others, sold this medicine in America for more than a century. And their recipes were readily available in an 1800s pharmacopoeia that I accessed online. That's how I made my medicine. I went out and joined a collective. At the time, I could barely drag my tank behind me. It was quite difficult to walk, and I was plainly dying. With the compassionate help of several local collectives, and because there was at that time a large, robust community of collectives of more than 200 in the county available, that I was able to obtain at very low cost more than a 1/4 pound of keef, which I put in a small amount of alcohol according to the directions, and consumed that over the next 10 weeks. That's a great deal of medicine. I mostly needed to stay in bed. When you have a serious internal condition like that you're recovering from, you need to rest, and it helps you to do that. But I improved dramatically, and although I'm still taking oxygen, I'm clearly not dying and clearly don't need a transplant. The gold standard for everybody has always been to smoke it, and several of the recent highly credible studies done at prestigious institutions, including UCSD, indicate that for some conditions there is nothing superior to smoked marijuana. That being said, it depends on the kind of help you need, the kind of medicine that you need, and how much you need. So if you're treating a condition that responds well to small amounts of smoked marijuana because of your ability to what we call titrate, to take just what you need and no more, and then a little more when you need a little more without ever taking more than you want. When you smoke, that's very easy to do, and that's one of the reasons that it's such a good way. But if you have a serious internal condition that may require much larger quantities to help, I'm certainly not in a position to offer medical advice, but should you need to take more, that's probably not a really suitable method to try and ingest a great deal. So then I'm fond of saying if you need a couple of aspirin, You don't go chew the bark off a tree. So concentrates are the logical alternative for patients that need an ongoing, concentrated, reliable, predictive sorts of medicine.